Okay, boys and girls, this is the third time I've filmed this video because my computer sucks balls. So let's get straight into it. Today we're going to discuss all things lag related, things that you should stay away from. So for us Aussies, this is things that we should stay away from most of the time. For Americans, these are things that you should stay away from in prime time and that kind of stuff. So let's talk about skills that suck in lag first off. D-swing. It is one of the best skills in the game, but unfortunately for us Aussies, it's so unreliable and it's just frustrating to use. So try and stay away from this. DB is obviously one of the best ults in the game, and in a lot of situations this is hard to stay away from, but the hit rate on it is miserable. I reckon for me it's probably maybe 50-60% chance of hitting, and that is just not good enough. Streak. Now, streak, ball of lightning's not too bad, but if you're using streak for a stun, then it's pretty unreliable. The timing on it's pretty bad. I was trying to use a stam sork build with a heavy attack into streak combo, and it was pretty damn unreliable. So obviously if you're playing a mag sork or stam sork, you've got to run streak or ball. It's kind of just a given. So generally try and work a stun in somewhere else and run ball of lightning if you can. Blast bones is okay. This is kind of primarily just if you've got Aussie lag on top of server issues, and same with jabs. Jabs is generally okay with just normal Aussie lag, but if you throw in server issues, server latency and that kind of stuff, then that's when you start to have big problems. Gap closers in general, most gap closers are going to be a pain in Aussie lag. They can be somewhat okay with just normal Aussie issues, but once again, once you get server problems on top of it, then you can start to have pretty big issues. Now, mist form is one that you wouldn't think would be on this list, but it's more about getting into it. Once you're into it, it can be somewhat okay, but generally you'll hit it, it won't go off, you hit it again and you end up going back out of it. And this can happen, and you'll be like, I'll hit it, I'll trust that it will go off, and it just won't go off, and you end up getting dicked anyway. So try and stay away from it. Actro is okay if you're going to use it as an offensive ult, but if you're trying to use it as a defensive ult and try and stun the enemies and that kind of stuff when you're getting pressured, probably stay away from it because it's a bit slow in the way that it deploys, and it's a bit hard to drop actro dodge roll kind of thing, and that's kind of what I was trying to do when I was running it. It just was kind of a bit dicky. Undo now is just, it's awful. It feels like it's gone from maybe 1 out of 3 or 4 being buggy, and to like 80% of the time undo bugging out in some way or form. This has been an issue for years, and ZeniMax still doesn't know how to fix it or won't fix it. So if you're going to use undo as a damage for the damage mitigation passive and stuff like that, then fine. And if you want to use it in the odd occasion, fine. But if you want to use this as an actual ult, probably try not to use it. And in-cap too. In-cap, since they added the cast time on in-cap, it just seems very janky to use as an Aussie. So something just to keep in mind. Classes to play, classes to stay away from. The 3 main ones I would suggest to stay away from is Stamina Nightblade, Mag Nightblade, and Mag Sork. Now, Mag Sork can be quite tanky if your shields are reliably going off, but that's something that generally just doesn't happen with 300 ping. So same with streak and ball. So if you're relying on your streak or your ball to go off right there and then your shields to go off right there and then, you're gonna have kind of problems. Then Stam Nightblade and Mag Nightblade basically have both of the same issues and some of their own issues. As far as their combined issues, is their damage rotation is highly highly reliant on the timing being right, and if you don't get the timing right, then you're looking at another 5 to 10 seconds, even longer if you're using your in cap in that rotation. So it's very deadly if you get it to work, but getting it consistently to work in Aussie lag is a pain in the ass. Magnite Blade also lacks a burst heal, so you're relying on a lot of dot heals, and you're kind of forced into running resto as well, so that kind of sucks. Stam Nightblade, just general issues with shade and cloak and those kinds of things. I think if you are going to run a Nightblade, you've got to run kind of somewhat melee Nightblade and run Dark Cloak, but the only problem with that is your damage isn't going to quite be as high, and you're going to be even more relying on your damage rotation being timed perfectly. So just keep that in mind. So they're the classes to stay away from. The ones that you should be playing in the two best classes for us Aussies is Stamden and Stam Necro, and this primarily just comes down to them both being naturally tanky and having good survivability naturally, on top of good healing and a purge and all that stuff. So I think if you want the best face tank class in the game, go Stam Necro. If you want a class that has the ability to face tank but also has good mobility, go Stamden. I kind of like Stamden the best. It just feels a little bit better, and that's what I'm maining at the moment. After this video is done over the next few days, I'll be posting a build video that will combine all these things that we've talked about in this video. Also, feel free to jump in my streams, as I am playing that build at the moment on my streams. So, best practices and the worst practices. So you want to try and stay away from low resist builds and high timing damage rotations. So, try and stay away from things that have, 12k resist, because you're just going to get nuked no matter what you do, really. And high timing damage rotations are just unreliable. So the best things is combining decent dot damage into your rotation. So you've got guaranteed damage sitting there ticking away. You've got a bit of pressure on them when you need to play defense. High resistance, obviously, not having low resist, but having high resistances will give you that natural tankiness you need to shrug off a burst or shrug off a skill not going off, or anything just, not going your way. You can recover basically from it. Also, as far as healing's concerned, having dot healing and a burst heal, combining those two things are the best thing you can do. You got your dot heal ticking away there, keeping you up all the time, and you've got a nice burst heal to be able to, get you out of execute nice and quick if you get, ult dump on you or something like that. So this is where Stamden comes in really nice. They've got a really good burst heal, and you're getting decent dot healing from Vigor. So, and then also having building a bit into dodge roll or block. So they're good, both pretty reliable ways of mitigating damage. So generally I'll run well fitted on all my little pieces, and then on the heavy pieces I'll run reinforced. And then I'll run sturdy on my shield. But if you're not much of a dodge roll person at the moment, I would be going probably in pen on your smaller pieces. So these are just basic things to stay away from as an Aussie or as an American that plays in prime time. And that's about it, guys. As I said, I'll be posting a build video that kind of combines all these things. And it's been a little bit annoying in the sense that I know I'm kind of handicapped in a way with the build, but in another way it's kind of been way less frustrating, and it has been actually a lot stronger in a lot of circumstances, because with a two-hander as an Aussie, you can get some good fights where everything works perfectly fine and you get those kills you need to get early on in the fight. But, you have just as many, if not more, fights where, your D-swing doesn't go off, or, your DB doesn't land, or something goes wrong and you miss those early kills. On this Stamden build I'm running at the moment, we are very tanky and all our damage is pretty damn reliable. Even though there's not quite as much burst there, it's reliable, and you can basically guarantee it's going to do what it is designed to do. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments if you have any personal things that you try and stay away from, or personal things that you found that works really well. Just leave in the comment section, because as I said, these are just my personal opinion and things that I've found throughout my years of playing here. So anyway, guys, I love you all. I'll be streaming after this video, so if you want to jump in stream and ask some questions, feel free. My Twitch will be in the description. Anyway, catch you later, guys. Peace.